Hello, my name's Fran Sands. Welcome to myboxingcoach.com. I hope that you are well. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 factors of footwork that I think you can work on, 2 of which are absolute, non-negotiable, in my opinion, 3 of which give you lots of variability. Okay, now you're going to be able to have a play around with this stuff. It's 5 principles that I think you can use to exercise your brain, to try things out in a slow, steady way before you then try and execute them on bag, shadow boxing or anywhere else. Okay, the 5 things. Number 1, relative position of the feet. In a standard boxing stance, I always say, have a line on the floor that goes from the toe on your front foot to the heel on your back foot. Really important to have that offset. If they're both in line, it's like walking a tightrope. You probably know this. What you can do is square things off a little, okay? There is a trade-off. The more square you are, the less mobile. However, the more square you are, the more power you can generate in hooks and uppercuts, which is why a lot of boxers like to square up when they go up close. They can open that stance up. There is a, but there is a compromise. There is always a trade-off in a boxing ring, like in much else in life. So just be aware of standard position, line on the floor, going from toe to heel. In terms of the width, I hate seeing stances that are too narrow. So if your stance is less than your shoulder width or even just your shoulder width, to me that's too narrow. You're not giving yourself enough stability. Likewise, if it's too wide, you can feel very alert and you can use precise movements, but you're dropping such an amount of height and it just generally is uncomfortable. So find a good way of doing it is just taking a comfortable step, and that's a nice width. So there's the relative position. All of that variable, okay? You can see that. Second element, front foot. Always 45 degrees. Always. Never not. I'll tell you why. And you can try this out. So if I want to throw a straight backhand, drive off the back leg, hips rotate, that's the shot there. And because my front foot is at 45 degrees, I can hold that indefinitely. Try this. Put your front foot forward, okay? Point it forward. Happens a lot in kickboxing and Muay Thai. I am not a kickboxing or Muay Thai coach. I'm a boxing coach. I'm talking about boxing. There's good reasons for it happening in those sports. This is about trying to use it as boxing. Do the same thing. Try and hold that with the front foot. Now you'll feel yourself, I'm having to hold myself here. So this leg is buckling because I'm naturally falling this way. You'll feel it. There. You want to overbalance that way. Try that one out. It happens mostly when people throw backhands. Their front foot will do that. Or it happens a lot when people back away. Never ever lose the 45-degree angle. However, you can be up on the foot or it can be flat. You have variability in that. I don't mind. I think if you're up on the balls of your foot, you're just able to be a little bit more mobile. If you flatten the foot a little bit, that's a little bit more biased towards driving power. More surface area of the foot on the floor drives greater power, in my opinion. So there's the front foot. Always 45 degrees, but you can have it up or down. Rear foot, never flat. Never. If you have both your feet flat, tell you what you might as well do. Hammer nails into each foot, because that's the amount of mobility you've got. I mean, you are literally, if you've got always up. The rear foot, heel, always off the ground. In terms of the angle, I am really relaxed about the angle that people have it at 45 degrees, parallel to the front foot. To me, that gives a little bit more control. So if you're moving forward, if you're in a more offensive posture, that's good, because again, it allows you to drive power off the backhand. So, that's a nice way to have it. Have it at 90 degrees. So pointing out that way. Again, that's probably what I'd describe as a halfway house. It gives you some of the mobility and also gives you some of the driving power. I've seen boxes where if that's 90 degrees, if that's 45, if that's 90, I've seen boxes, some fantastic boxes with it pointing backwards. Really good in terms of being mobile, being able to shift position. So there you go. The two constants. Front foot must always be at 45 degrees. Back foot must always be raised. The variability, you know, you've got the standard line there, but you can square it off. Front foot can be up or down, depending on whether you want to be mobile. Rear foot can be 45 degrees out or back. It's up to you. Try it all, experiment. That's the whole point. Just fiddle around with it. Work out which is which and which suits you for different mindsets. You know, one round on a heavy bag, you might decide that you're going to go sort of Muhammad Ali, so you want to be on the balls of your feet. You probably want that rear foot pointing a bit out that way. In the next round, you want to be Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. So you're grinding out. You want to be Golovkin or someone like this, someone who puts pressure on. So that might be 45 degrees and you can open things up. I'm going to stop. I hope you've picked something up from that. Look, so it's the 3rd of October, Saturday the 3rd of October. Here in northwest England, in Liverpool, my home city, we've just gone into additional lockdown restrictions. This gym's open. I've not run a spar in either of those rings for months. I can't even do pad work with my boxers, but we had a group in last night. I'm determined that throughout all of this, by the end of this, I'm going to be a better coach than when I went in. I'm determined that the groups of boxers I work with in here are going to be tactically and technically ready for when this all lifts. Try it yourself, that mindset of saying, I don't know why I'm getting into this, but it's just something that's really pushing me at the moment. I'm noticing a lot of people who are feeling really negative and down. Make this time work for you. Be better. Whatever you choose to do, it might be a baking cakes, I don't care. But be better at it once we come out of this than you were when we went in. Pick anything, each day at a time. Be better at something. Drive more at something. Make the difference to yourself. And be a bit more considerate to others. Try that as well. Try thinking about others around you. It's certainly what I'm urging our boxers to do. I could break the rules and run spars, but I don't want to, because that sets a bad example. I'm sorry if that's got on your nerves a little bit. It's just something that's weighing on me at the moment, and I think we've got to try and make this really difficult time pay for us, and that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm doing it anyway. Sign up for the Beginner Boxer Toolkit. You get loads of stuff in there. Plus, I send you a load of ongoing videos that are really helpful in structuring your training and giving you lots of new ideas a couple of times a week. I'm sure you're going to love that. Otherwise, my name's Fran Sands. This is myboxingcoach.com. Keep yourself safe. Take care.